Yo, 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 what is going on, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love? My name is Jamal Pope, aka J Phoenix, and this is going to be your astrology forecast for February 27th, Tuesday of 2024. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. Hopefully, you guys are having a wonderful day so far. Let's go ahead and hop into the astrological transit so you can see how you can be better prepared to navigate these celestial energies. Um, I'll go ahead and put up the calendar today, even though, like I said, it's a building energy kind of day. Really, we're going to see the moon making some aspects, and the Sun and Mercury conjunction does start today. I just want to talk a little bit more about that for tomorrow's transit because Wednesday is going to be, like I said, probably one of the most powerful days of the year. So today is really more like that building energy. We're kind of building these things up. That moon in Libra is going to conjunct the South Node today. It's going to, of course, make the aspects over to the North Node, over to Chiron today. But yeah, let's go ahead and bring up the chart itself. And then today's video may be a little bit shorter, to be fair. So here we go. At the time I'm making, it's 9:02 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can see that the moon, so here at 11 degrees of Libra. So it does make some nice trines over to this Aquarius energy. It's going to be trining Mars today. It's going to also make a nice little trine over to Venus today as well. So harmonious aspects, right? So this is just, like I said, trying to be on the same page with people, but there could be some frustrations, of course, with the Mars energy, because Mars can be rather impulsive. Sometimes we can get angry about things with the whole Mars energy. And then, of course, it's going to make this aspect over to Venus too. Venus, which rules Libra, right? So, you know, there's definitely, like I said, there's been, and I talked about this a little bit in yesterday's video, where it's like trying to get on the same page with people, trying to see eye to eye people, trying to vibe with people. And even if things aren't exactly, balanced, if these aren't exactly, if you're not seeing exactly eye to eye, it doesn't mean that you have to throw the entire relationship away. But there's been a bit of an element of that over the last, let's just say, 15 to 20 years. People throwing away relationships at just the slightest hint of argument or the slightest hint of resistance. You know, we want to just make sure that we're not just totally blowing up on people. You know what I'm saying? Unless they are really, I mean, I wouldn't really suggest blowing up on people in general, but I understand that sometimes we have our boundaries crossed. Sometimes we feel like we've been disrespected for long periods of time, and people probably feel like they could just continue to do those things to you or to us and stuff. And everyone has a breaking point. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that with this sort of energy, we want to be careful of our breaking points. We want to be careful that we're not just completely blowing up on people. But you can kind of sense it right now. Like a lot of people that I'm talking to right now, it's like there is a desire for a deeper connection to other people. Like there's a desire for humanity to connect deeper with other people without the need of like the internet and stuff like that. But there's also an apprehension there because of things that have happened in the past. There's an apprehension because, wondering, well, am I going to get taken advantage of? Are people going to understand me? Are people going to accept me? Are people going to embrace me for who I am, my uniqueness? That's the whole weird thing about all this energy. Not to mention, we have this massive fucking stellium that's building up in that we have this massive stellium that we have right now in Pisces, but this massive cazimi that we're having building up between Mercury, Sun, and Saturn. So, like I said, this right here is like a red pill, a blue pill, a white pill, and a black pill, and a green pill, like all mixed into one. And it's like a mega dose pill of reality that we are about to take as a collective. And there's different timelines, Saturn, that we can really pick based off of, you know, what is presented to us, right? But it's going to definitely shift our perceptions in a major way. Now, of course, we're going to see this moon as it continues throughout the day. Once it hits around 4 o'clock or so, we're going to see it hit that 15th degree. By this point, it would have already trined over to Venus too. Like I said, that aspect's probably gonna be a little bit more harmonious than the Mars one, just because Venus is definitely looking to have some sort of balance and definitely is looking to be able to relate to other people a little bit more. But the Moon still is here with the South Node, which is why, like I said, it can bring up things from the past. It can bring up, you know, past relationships. It can bring up freaking exes. That's one thing that could definitely come up whenever you have the South Node here in Libra and the Moon on here, and they're trining over Venus to Mars, another um, sign that deals with communication and stuff too. So yeah, things like that can definitely come up, or at the very least, maybe situations that maybe come up that kind of remind you of a past relationship, of like an ex, or like an ex-friend, or if you will, even an ex-family member, because that happens where people will cut off their family members. And maybe we have situations that come up today that kind of remind us of that shit, you know? And it could be maybe a new relationship that kind of does something that kind of reminds us of something that happened in a past relationship. And that's why I'm saying with the whole Mars thing that we don't want to just be so quick to judge here. We don't want to be so quick to act. And just because there's like something that may be somewhat reminiscent of a past relationship, that we think that it's going to turn into that past relationship. We don't want to just be so quick to judge and so quick to jump out of the relationship, the new relationship, because it has something that slightly resembles something from a past relationship that maybe this other person in the past, maybe, like I said, stepped all over our boundaries, took advantage of us, didn't really appreciate us for who we were, you know. Saying you want to just be a little bit careful with that. So I think it's the time to like really kind of chill back and observe as much as you can. Obviously, if you feel like your boundaries are getting crossed, then obviously do something about that. But to not necessarily jump and be so impulsive right now, it's gonna probably be a little bit easy. It's gonna be easy to want to do that, especially like towards the end of the day when we're going to see this moon that's going to oppose over to Chiron. So it's like we've gone through all of that, we've had time to think about it, and then the moon in Libra is going to be opposing Chiron. And this is not easy, right? This is not an easy opposition. This moon in Libra is definitely trying to find the balance, trying to find the harmony, trying to find the justice. But then, of course, you have the Chiron over there in Aries, which is triggered, hurt, trying to express itself. It's like I said, it's where our superpowers are right now. And we have to realize that we are the key itself, opening up the door, especially with being in Aries, because Aries is about identification. So we are actually the key that we're looking for to open the door to a new world, to new possibilities. But the thing is, of course, it's like whether or not we are ready to put ourselves out there, if we're ready to really express ourselves. And that's the interesting thing too, since it is like there's this desire to want to connect more and be more extroverted, but we have a bunch of planets in introverted signs. Don't get it twisted with Aquarius. Aquarius is actually pretty introverted. Yes, it's the water bear. Yes, it's about connecting with people and blah, 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 blah. But Aquarius is pretty introverted. Pisces is pretty introverted. We have all of these planets in introverted signs. And yet, the universe wants us to be more extroverted. You see how that can cause a bit of confusion? That can cause a lot of confusion, right? When you have seven planets, in introverted signs, right? Because we're having to work in many ways on our inner world. We're having to work on our perceptions. We're having to work on our internets with the Aquarius energy. We're having to work on the Piscean energy, our perceptions, our dreams, and those sort of things too. So, like I said, today is going to be one of those building energy kind of days. There can be some moments that come up that can trigger you, that can or maybe remind you of a past relationship, whether, like I said, it's a past lover or a past friend or a past family member that you don't really talk to anymore. And at this new relationship, something can come up that can remind you of it, and then it may make you want to run away. I would say don't run away unless there's like obvious red flags. But if it's just a caution flag, like an orange flag, or even like a lime green flag or something like that, you know what I'm saying? There's no need to just completely just run away and throw the baby out with the bathwater. You know what I'm saying? And I think right, and I think it's probably natural to want to do that instinctually, or maybe even our ego, because our ego wants to protect us. So we see something that reminds us of something in the past that might have hurt us, and we want to immediately cast it aside, you know what I'm saying, as a means to try and protect ourselves. Take the time to observe today. Take the time to observe and to also hear the other person out. Maybe it's not as crazy as we think it is. So let's go ahead and hop into the cards. Like I said, today is like more of like a building energy kind of day. There's not really a whole lot going on. And plus, even though I could talk about the Mercury Sun coming together because they do start their conjunction today, I really want to talk about that in tomorrow's forecast. So. All right, let's see what we got for today. I have the Three of Wands. Yeah, kind of looking out on the valley, kind of knowing that something is coming, but also knowing that we are destined for more. But we definitely can be in a bit of a pondering kind of state. Like we want to take some action, we want to move forward, but we're just kind of looking out and like it's like, okay, so we can feel the epicness of this adventure that's about to commence for all of us. We can feel the legendary quality of the events that are building up right now. Okay, finally. I went blurry and then it finally focused. But yeah, we can kind of feel that energy coming up. We also have that followed by the Four of Swords in reverse. That it's such a weird thing. It's like we want to rest, but we know that it's actually go time. But at the same time, we don't know exactly what go time is or means or what actions we got to take. These energies, a lot of these energies are in Pisces right now, especially Mercury. Think about that. The mind right now is in water. It's in Pisces. It's in mutable water. It's in its fall. So trying to think our way through these situations right now from a logical standpoint, it's not going to work. This is why we have to rely on our intuition right now more than anything. We have to rely on our intuition, maybe even our instincts, because instincts isn't necessarily a mental thing, but this is about relying on our intuition more than anything. And yeah, while we definitely want to take the time to rest, and it's interesting too because I feel like whenever the sun goes into Pisces, we kind of do want to rest, but this is still a time to get up and actually take some sort of action. And if you don't know necessarily what action you need to take, you have to listen to your gut here. Bottom of the deck, I do have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. I think this really just comes down to whether or not you see your own value and you trust in your own value. She's like becoming like the tree. She's like one with the tree itself, you know. But in reverse, it's like she's unable to see her value. She's unable to understand her own value. This is going to come down to whether or not you can trust in what you actually have to offer. Because I feel like this Queen of Pentacles, like it's about the fruits. It's about the fruits that she's growing and what she can offer, what she can give, and stuff like that too. So do you trust in the value that you provide in this world? Do you trust that you provide value to this world? And I think that's really what this comes down to. You know what I'm saying? So the color card that we have for today, I have the card of magenta. Connect to your deepest inner knowing. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like you can't logic your way through these situations right now. This comes down to intuition. This comes down to your gut. What is your gut telling you? Right? That's what this all comes down to. So that is going to do it for your astrology forecast today. I hope that you all enjoyed it, and I trust that it will assist you on your journey today. If you did enjoy this, please like, share, and subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. If you would like to have a personal reading with me, beloved, you can follow the link in the description below to my website, jphoenix.com. And as always, y'all take care, stay blessed, have a wonderful Tuesday. I will see you all on the next astrology forecast for Wednesday. It's going to be a big one, so just be prepared for that. Peace.